In the year 2014, a new squad of operatives was chosen by the College of Illusion. These fools promptly went on to frustrate their DM at every opportunity. Today, still working together, because really, who else would work with them? They survive as adventurers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the Second Breakfast Club.
Tony Kinney as Eddie Falzone.
Jess Owen as Adira Glow.
Michael Cole as Uorag.
Jesse Wicks as Bill Quiverlance.
Nico Rodriguez as your DM.
Welcome back to the continuing tales of A Fool's Quest.
Alright, so y'all motherfuckers finished the food fight and you were leaving. You had just finished cleaning up. And as you were finishing cleaning up, Uorag comes weaseling his way into the cafeteria.
Bounding into the cafeteria and then slide.
Yep.
What happened here?
How many moves do you have left as a weasel?
I didn't roll, actually. 10. So on a 10 or higher, hold 3.
Okay, so you
I
have
used 1, so I have 2 more.
2 more moves left. Cool. Alright, so you guys are all rejoined. Uorag skipped out on cleaning.
Detail, which was a real bitch move, if you ask me.
I got
Shit
there
went
right
down.
at the end because I went into the bathroom and cleaned myself up and came back. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you guys have done a wonderful job.
Yeah, thanks for the help.
Is there anything
My
you
hair
guys
is still
can't do well?
smoking.
Little cinders.
And the broom is just a nub now. It's the rest of it's burnt off.
The Bells, who had to fight fudge brownies. Just a whole army of brownies.
Sounds amazing.
Where like the whole kitchen was covered in brownie matter. Like hot fudge brownies. And so they are miserable. Just miserable. They're still in there cleaning right now.
I can go give the walls a lick. I'm kind of hungry.
So I'll drop the journal off with Eddie.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at that and see you.
It's not in their bedrooms. It's not in the bathroom.
Not in the bathroom. So we got what, the Chamber of Pots or the lake?
I was thinking the lake.
Do I know what the Chamber of Pots refers to? Would that be a spout lore?
Yeah, spell some lore.
No, it's a 5. No, wait, 7.
Okay. So
spout lore was 7. You tell me something, it's up to me to make it useful. Basically, out of 7 to 9, the GM will only tell you something interesting. It's on you to make it useful.
you know that there was no Chamber of Pots before they got here and started their group, so it's seemingly something they've created and likely attached to their house. But that is all I'm going to give you.
Alright. Chamber of Pots sounds like a room in their house. Never heard of it before, so it's probably something, just a name they came up with for somewhere. But Bill's got a meeting with him later, after dinner, right?
Yeah. Gives us time to search the lake if we wanted to do that first.
Gives us time to search the lake in the meantime.
And if not, then during the meeting, if you guys sneak in, I'll sneaky, and I'll try and keep those three distracted and maybe even ask them some questions or see if I can't figure out where the Chamber of Pots is while you're looking around.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can you turn all three of you invisible?
Probably just the two of us.
But
Right,
Uorag
you
can
can-
sneak in on it.
Yeah, I'm
So
good.
if we can't find it in the lake, you could sneak in and kind of stay close by. I'll try and figure out from them where the Chamber of Pots is. Assuming it's not in the lake. Let's check the lake first, though.
Yeah. Sounds like we got a plan.
Getting it narrowed down anyway.
Yeah. Alright, let's go check out the lake, I guess.
You should probably see the dean before.
Yeah, we gotta go to the
Yeah.
dean and Tell them about this wild magic event before we get
Mr. Melton.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Smelding.
Yep. He's a dwarf.
Bean Smelding.
All right. So is that what you guys go do?
Yeah, we'll head to the.
All right. So you guys head there and
Can I
Right.
get healed?
Oh yeah.
What's that? Oh, did I not heal you? Did that not heal you all the way?
No.
Me neither.
Oh. Well, I
I
have.
don't know how temporary hit points work.
I think the temporary part's just like flavor text, right?
yeah, it's just
Until you
flavor
rest.
text. Yeah. So you're just healed. Is all.
So yeah, I will just roll and I'll roll for you first. Let's see here. I don't think.
Can we just take a few minutes and say you
Yeah.
just healed back up? And
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If that's
How many hit points are you guys down?
I was down 9. I was at 7 out of 16.
Yeah, I will say while you guys are in your own home territory, you can take a few minutes to heal them up. Once you guys move out of the Illusion Nation and into other nations, healing may cause...
Yeah, because the sound of my cymbals will. Draw
Yeah.
So
It may draw attention. So we will want to make rolls because there will be wild monsters out there. There will be magic events out there. There will be opposing armies out there that you don't want to call. So while we're here in the safety of your own sanctum, you're good. But once we get out into the field, it'll be more dangerous to heal.
gotcha.
So, all right. So you guys are healed back up. All right.
Cool.
You head to the dean. All right. So you guys get to the dean. Because it took a little while to heal you back up, as you're getting to the dean, the bells are also getting to the dean. They're still covered in fudge, but they get there when you do, and they're all pretty distraught. They look like they've been healed up too, but they're pretty, their clothes are ripped and they've got burns on their skins and stuff like that. So they're not looking pleased, but they're following you in to speak to the dean as well.
As we're going in, I'm gonna chat with them and. Hey, Frank, how was your morning?
It was awful.
Your morning was?
Yeah, I mean, well, I guess we were running late this morning, but yeah. Why?
Our morning was pretty bad too. Just seems like those potters are really going hard at us, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does seem like that.
What do you say? At least until they don't have any beads anymore, a alliance between your clique and ours. Or at least a truce.
Go ahead and make a parlay roll.
Parlay. Parsnip, sleep, partner. Parlay? That's the one! Parlay!
That's an 8.
Alright, that's plus your charisma?
Yes.
Alright, so you can ask them a favor, but they're going to need some concrete assurances. So you got to give something to get something here.
All right.
And right now, as of last, they think that Hermai Deranger stole their bead. That's what you convince them of.
All right. So, Freck, look, we got a hold of this notebook from the Potters. It's got their plans for hiding the bead, but they hadn't finalized them yet, so we don't know which one it is. We got 2 things to check out. But you guys check out one of them, we check out the other. If you find their bead and we find yours, we'll trade, yeah?
How about this? If you find our bead and we find yours, or vice versa, we play a game for it. Whoever wins the game keeps the beads.
You got a deal.
Alright. You hear that, BD Crater? They're willing to play the game.
Oh
And
But that's only if we find both the beads that the Potters have, right?
right, yeah.
All right.
The game is called Snitch, and yeah. So the game, just so you know, it can be ran 3v3, 4v4, or depending on how many you want, anywhere between 3 to 5 people. There are challenger terms, and you as the challenged get to pick the players for each side. So because you have less people, if you have to play the game, you 4 would pick against what 4 you'd play, or you'd only pick 3 on your team against 3 of them. And then the winner would take the bead. The game itself is called Snitches Get Stitches. And in the Illusion Nation, one of the biggest social missteps is to snitch on another illusionist that is equal or lesser than your abilities. That their abilities are equal or lesser than yours. If you find a more powerful illusionist and you figure out their illusion, it is considered impressive to snitch on them. So you can always snitch up, but you can't snitch laterally or down, if that makes sense for illusionists. And it's a disgrace to bully down. So like, if obviously when you're walking the halls and you see an initiate doing illusion magic, Eddie, you can recognize, I mean, all of you could recognize it as illusion at this point, but Eddie, you'd be able to see right through it pretty much, and you could dispel it with the click of your fingers. So it would be considered mean to bully them just to bully them. So that's why the game Snitches Get Stitches is the way it is designed and the way it's played. If we ever end up playing the game, I'll explain the rules as we go, but that's what you know about the game itself that they want to challenge you to.
All right. All right. Well, let's go in and tell the dean about this wild magic event, because that seemed like a big one, didn't it?
Yeah,
Seemed kind of wild.
it did seem like a big one. Very odd. All right. You want to do the talking? We saw the whole cafeteria look like a hot mess. We only had to fight the fudge brownies.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of them, though. So many fudge brownies.
Did you see that dragon fruit?
I saw the tail of it. It was wagging in the kitchen, breaking down shelves and stuff that I had to put back up.
Man, that was a rough one.
All right, so after you.
All right. So we'll head into the dean's and
Dean Smelting is like, hello, come in, please.
Hey, Dean Smelding, listen. You know, we were on cafeteria duty there, and just had a wild magic event over there. Thought you ought to know about it.
Yeah, what did you experience? And he pulls out a specific journal. You've seen him note wild magic events in this journal before.
All right, so I'm going to tell him about the horseradish and the deviled eggs and the ghost pepper
And the ghost pepper.
and the dragon fruit.
Yeah, and then Frack will tell him about the fudge brownies and what he saw of the dragon fruit. And the dean will say, this does sound like a very strong event. I've been getting reports that there have been stronger events out in the wild, like magic is building in certain areas. It makes sense to have such a strong event here, but we just had a small event last week, and the frequency is really beginning to become a concern. Anyway, thanks for bringing this to my attention. I'll talk with the council about it.
All right. Hey, Dean, while I got you for a second, you ever heard of anything called the Chamber of Pots?
He looks down at the desk for a second, then looks back up at you and says, yes, it is a safe place for the Potters.
Ah. Gotcha. All right. I just overheard him talking about it, got curious.
Well, I've got you here. On a side note, we were thinking about maybe doing some renovations and adding some space to our building. Is there anywhere we would have to file those changes before we did this?
You would have to file them after completion.
Okay, and where would we do this?
You would do this here to one of the counselors or myself.
Okay. All right, thank you so much.
Yes, all changes must be logged after completion. Okay. Or if the maintenance and construction is taking longer than a week, it will need to be logged for the progress.
Okay, perfect. I appreciate your help so much.
Of course. What changes are you doing? And he looks over at Frack. You don't have to tell me now, but I'll be interested.
We're just thinking about some laboratory upgrades.
Fantastic.
Just kicking the idea around.
Okay. Well, as you were.
I would like to raise pigeons.
Wait, what?
And maybe a rookery.
Wonderful.
All right.
I was so very unprepared.
So you think...
before you leave, Eddie, have you been in my sanctum over the last couple days?
I didn't do it. Nobody saw me do it. There's no way they can prove anything.
No.
And he looks at you and casts a small spell under his, on his desk with his hand, does some motions with it, and then he says, okay, thank you for your honesty. Dismissed.
All right, I'll head on outside. Actually, can I discern realities to try to tell what spell he cast there?
Yeah.
That's a 10.
Okay. So
Yeah.
he was dispelling any kind of illusion magic. It's you're very familiar with this spell. He was making sure that you weren't trying to be deceptive in your response, which is, in a lot of cultures, that might be misconstrued as rude and distrustful, but in this culture with illusionists, it's just common practice for somebody of any of your calibers. Eddie, Hermione Ranger, Gary Slaughter, Frack, like all of you have the ability to dispel so quickly that it's just second nature to do.
Gotcha. All right. Now head on outside and... What do you think? The lake now, or... See...
Yeah, I mean... I don't think... he didn't give us a very concrete answer, and I feel like it would be tough to try and figure out exactly whether they would have to keep any filings, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was hoping we could figure it out that way, but... yeah, let's go check the lake. You can turn into a fish, right?
You do know there is a library there that if they were going to keep that stuff, it would include architecture of houses and stuff. There's a library on campus.
Okay. Well, if you want, I could go investigate that while Uorag checks out a lake. Or... Should we split the party?
Didn't work out so well at lunchtime. Let's
or we could just
stick
stop by
together for now. We'll stop by the library after we check out the lake, maybe.
Library, then the lake, then the Potters.
Yeah. Okay. Dinner in there somewhere.
So yeah, we'll head to the library.
Okay. So you head to the library on campus. There are a lot of students in here, but you're not restricted. I mean, you guys have full access to this library with your rank in the academy.
Okay. I assume they're a librarian somewhere.
Yep.
I'm gonna seek one out and just excuse me, if where would you keep any filings for like renovations or changes to buildings that have been made in the past?
Is there a specific year frame you're looking for?
Past year or two.
Okay, follow me.
And she gets up and takes you to a spot in the library. It's pretty well defined. Like, once you get there, you wouldn't have been able to just like glance around the library and find it. It's a big library full of arcane works. But once you get there, it's easy to identify years that are stuff broken down, which buildings it's organized. All the books are well labeled and well kept. And she says,
do you need anything else?
Yeah, is this organized by like a building that it was done on, or just by how recently it was done?
A little bit of both. So it's grouped by year and then grouped by building. Some buildings have more work than others. Like the schools typically have the most work done here. Yeah, if you're looking for specific houses, you can look right here and see.
Okay. I appreciate all your help. I'm going to go start looking through the Powders building for this year first, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, give him a hand with that too.
Yeah, go ahead and make an intelligence check. Just straight intelligence. So your 2d6 plus your...
12.
Wow.
With a 0 intelligence, it's just a 6/6.
Wow. Oh,
Roll it.
roll again.
Yeah.
That's a crit.
That's right. 8.
Okay, so it's still, it's crit. So you go to the section, she kind of pointed you in the right direction, and you were able to say, here's the year, and you were able to kind of glance over the last few years, knowing how long the Potters have had their own house. It's only been about 3 years. And you find a book right away that has renovations for their house, and you're able to pull it off the shelf, and it's bookmarked. So you just open right up to some of the most recent renovations, and one of it is a chamber in the basement that leads to like an underground chamber. It's not a very deep chamber because you are kind of on an island in the middle of the lake, but the island is pretty high up off the water level, so it can go a little ways down. And it looks like they had not constructed the chamber entirely, but they were able to beef up some of the entrance way from the chamber, from their house in the basement to the chamber. So there's an access point down there, and then they've done a little bit of work in the chamber itself. But yeah, so you can tell exactly how to access the chamber through the basement.
Okay.
And their cellar.
All right, so we've got that map. So we'll still go check the lake first, but then if that fails, then I can try and do their hat ceremony while you guys go check out the chamber.
Yeah.
So to the lake.
To the lake. Before we go to the lake, what did their notebook say about the lake? They were just going to throw it in.
Tied to a rock.
Tie it to a rock and throw it in the lake.
So yeah, they were just tying it to a rock and chucking it in to the lake.
Tell me, he didn't just say that.
You assume, they're dumb, but they're not super dumb. You assume there's a specific point probably in the lake that they had in mind.
Yeah. I think we should probably kind of search around the lake and see if there's anywhere that seems like...
Is there a dock area?
There are several docks, yeah. Because you have to, like I said, it's raised up off the water quite a ways, so you have to go down along the sides of the island to get to like the actual surface of the water. So yeah, there's a couple different docks, but there's one that's most frequently used if you wanted to.
Do they have one that's maybe more toward their particular building area?
Yep, there is.
I'd maybe start there.
Yeah. Let's start with that dock closest to their building. Man, Grog.
When we get to the dock, I'm going to ask the dock if it's seen anybody lately throwing anything into the water.
I was waiting for you to say the dock worked her, and then I realized that you weren't going to.
No.
So the dock said...
Spirits of wood and water. Has anyone thrown anything into the water recently?
The dock is old and kind of, kind of beaten up, and it's like,
I have seen people throw things into the water.
Anything very recently?
Yes, recently as well.
Could you possibly show me how far out?
Get in the boat and go about 327 rows.
Thank you, old spirit.
Is there more than one boat?
Yeah, there are several boats.
So you guys just
Could you ask the boats which one they use?
probably
They tied it to a rock. Could you?
Could you talk to? Could you ask the
Talk to the rock. Rock.
I'm gonna make you start rolling on this shit to see how accessible asking boats are.
So I will. The doc has spoken. About 320-ish rows of a boat out there recently.
Yeah. That's. I don't think that narrows it down at all.
I mean, it's not like super close to the island. It's
not next to shore. It's out in the middle of the lake.
Yeah.
That someone threw something in.
Somebody was probably fishing. Could have been a net. Or their fucking fishing pole.
I could always turn into a giant catfish and go down and talk to the fish.
I never did tell Frack what the two spots were.
We win that game.
We could catch up with them, give them the lake.
Yeah.
That way none of us get wet feet.
Well, up to you. I have no problem swimming.
It's fair. It would probably be much easier to get it back from the Bells than the Potters.
Yeah, the Bells already have a deal. They'll, compete for it.
Yeah.
Hey, Uorag wants to take a look around down there a little bit. Don't take too long. We'll,
Okay.
No
So I'll
dawdling.
change shape into a giant catfish.
Oh man, that process sounds disgusting. While he changes shape into a catfish, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back after these commercials.
Okay, this is the hardest part of any role-playing game. Who wants to be the dungeon master?
I do. Me.
Everyone?
We could aid a desperate town in their hunt for a savage beast.
Or sail to a hidden isle full of talking turtles.
I love turtles.
Or tracking down a band of pirates to save your best friend.
5 DMs, 5 great ideas. I guess we'll have to play them all. Set sail with us for a podcast adventure full of music, laughter, and friendship on Dice Populi. Listen to these stories and more at dicepopuli.com.
And now let's get back to the fun.
Hey, Uorag wants to take a look around down there a little bit. Don't take too long. We'll,
Okay.
No
So
dawdling.
I'll change shape into a giant catfish.
All right, so you walk out on the dock, get to the end of the dock, and it says,
someone is walking on me. Get off.
and then you turn into a fish and dive into the water.
Yes.
And you swim around, and I guess we're gonna have to let me see, probably discern realities, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you're swimming around, looking around for stuff. Roll your discern realities.
11.
Wow. Okay, so you can ask 3 of those things.
Okay.
Where is your leash?
So, what here is useful and valuable to me?
Okay, so what here is useful and valuable to you? There is, down toward the center of the lake gets deeper, obviously toward the middle. There is some algae and stuff that is closer to the shore, but as you get away, it kind of turns into more sandy down at the bottom. And you can see that there are different spots where things have sank and fallen down to the bottom here that you could go investigate.
Okay. Can I discern what happened here recently?
Yeah, you can tell from the area that there's been some fishing that has been going on. There also appears to have been a wild magic event that took place down here. As you can see that there has been some kind of disruptive event to the area around, like the algae life, and it looks unnatural. You can just tell from your way to commune with nature that it's unnatural.
Okay. So the last one would be what here is not what it appears to be.
Down in the very center, there appears to be a boat that sank, but from the way you look, it looks to be too perfectly sunk.
Looks staged.
It looks staged.
Okay. So I'll look around and investigate more closely, see if I can find something that might look like it was thrown down there.
Are you going to investigate the ground with the little bits of stuff that are around, or investigate the boat?
Well, I'll start with the ground, and if that doesn't produce anything, I'll head over to the boat.
All right. So while you're investigating that, what are the three of you doing up top?
Skipping rock.
I'm just playing a merry little tune while I wait.
Just sitting on the end of the dock with my feet in the water.
You have no idea what this dock is saying about you right now.
Nope. It's like late afternoon, though. I'll probably pop my flask out.
Stomping my foot on it to keep tempo.
Dock of the bay.
All right, so
time.
You look around down there, and with the treasure and stuff that you find, well, this is not so much treasure, but a lot of it's kind of litter that you find down there. You do find some weapons and some armor that you think is kind of interesting, but none of it appears to be magical in nature. It just seems like some kind of stuff. A couple of pieces look like maybe they were heirlooms. They had like gems and stuff in the armor.
Okay.
But yeah, nothing specific though to what you're looking for as far as the bead goes or anything among the litter.
I'll see if I can scoop up a couple of them in my giant catfish mouth.
Okay.
Balance them on your antlers.
You
dangle them off.
Scoop up 2 of the gems into your mouth, and yeah, there you go.
And probably head over toward the ship.
Okay. You head over to the ship, and as you approach the ship, you notice that it looks kind of like an illusion.
I wondered. So yeah, I'll try to swim through it like it's not there.
Okay. So you swim through it, and you get on the inside, and you see a bunch of different things that are tossed down here. All of them have been tied with some kind of brick and dropped down into the water. Some of it is like weird keepsake stuff. Like one is
found Rod Beasley's stash.
Yeah, it is Rod Beasley's stash.
It's just a bunch of weird Rod Beasley.
Yeah, it is. Like Don Beasley.
Don Beasley.
It is. It's just a bunch of weird trinket stuff that he has down here. There is a lockbox though that you find down here.
Okay. I'll snatch that.
All right. So how are you snatching that?
I'll also scoop it up into my mouth.
All right. So you are a giant catfish.
Yes.
With a box in your mouth and 2 gems in your mouth now. And as you snatch that up and you start to spin and swim your way back to shore, you come out of the illusion of the boat and to regain sight of the inside of the lake, and you are confronted by several merfolk, and they are holding tridents, and they are about to stab your ass.
Can I use a move to kick up mud from the bottom and do like that fish thing that they do where they just kick up a cloud of shit and then take off in a random direction?
Sure. So you do that move. It's going to get 1 attack. Nope, it's not. So it chucks the first one, the main one, chucks its trident at you, and it was thinking that you were going to swim up.
Sorry, Charlie.
Because that's just what it thought you were going to do. Mm-hmm. But you actually swam down to kick up mud, and so the trident went right over your head with its failure. and then you kick up Mud. And then go ahead and make your move to see how successful it is.
7.
All right, so a 7 it's successful, but they also get a thing. So let's see. Out of the 3 of them, we'll do 1d6 divided by 2. All right, so only one of them is not affected. So one of them does not seem to be impacted. So the one closest to you swims down to get his trident. One of the other ones gets dirt and mud in its eyes, but the third one comes chasing after you with its trident.
It's going to be a chase.
Try to get you. Yep.
So I'm heading back to the dock.
Yep. So you're swimming super fucking fast. It's going to make its attack at you. Ooh, this time it's a 10.
Ouchie.
Hold on. I gotta look at the damage of the merfolk.
Just cussing underwater.
We're all up on the surface just calling, kicking out.
You just see a bunch of bubbles and shit.
Alright, so it chucks its trident as you're flying by, and it grazes your tail and hits you pretty hard for 7 points of damage as the left
Good news, though. 2 of them don't have a trident.
Yeah.
Catfish armor.
I have my armor that is basically part of my form when I change.
Yep. Alright, and so what do you do?
I'm foregoing any kind of attack, and I'm making a dash for the dock.
Okay, so it's going to make a move to try and call out for other merfolk in the area to come after you. So it's doing that while still swimming after you and keeping up. So it's got like a little conch shell necklace that it blows on. The rest of you, give me a quick discern reality roll to see if you hear the conch shell blow.
Yeah, it's an 8.
Yeah, alright, so you hear it.
No, that's a 3.
9.
The 8 and 9 get it. But there's a caveat to that. So you hear it, and you hear it from the water, but you don't have anything to dive down in the water with to help him.
I just cleaned these clothes. I wasn't going to go down there anyway. I'll cheer him on.
And you don't know him from the other giant fish that are down there.
Nope, but what I do know is how to make an illusion of shark with antlers.
Okay.
And make it swim towards the middle of the lake from the dock.
Okay. Is that what you're going to do?
Yep.
All right. So you do that. Uorag, give me a discern reality about the image, but you add +1 because you see the antlers, and that tells you that it could help.
11.
Okay. All right. So you both. This illusion is perfect, and it's swimming right toward them. And the 11 that you have, you see the antlers right away, and you know there's no way that a shark with antlers is popping up here.
That's my tell.
You know that's Eddie helping you out. So you swim right toward the shark, like right into its mouth, and it opens its mouth like it's going to chomp down on you right as you impact it, and you swim right through the thing. But the mermaids behind you all fall back.
Hell yeah. Teamwork.
Hell yeah.
And you come flying up to the shore and the water and stuff, and you've got a mouthful.
Burst out of the water at the end of the dock where he's sitting with his feet dangling. Right into his lap. A giant catfish that just basically tackle you.
Oh, God. All slimy. Oh, what's this here?
It gets better. And then I regurgitate everything that I had in my mouth. The sort of the gemstones and the lockbox.
Oh, it's even slimier.
He slimed me.
All right, so the 2 gemstones, they're just 2 sapphires, and they're both worth 100 gold pieces each. And the lockbox is locked, so...
Bill?
I don't pick locks. I'm a thief.
Well, I don't need to be a catfish anymore, so I'll revert back to my regular form.
In his lap?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm just kind of like sitting on top. Sorry. I get off.
Greg, can you pick a lock?
I can try to open the box.
You see what you can do. If not, I bet Adira can. She's got that big lockpick.
I just try to force it open.
Make a strength check.
11.
Okay. So you crack it open at the hinges from the backside, away from the lock. It's been sitting down in the water, so even though the lock is really nice and magic and enchanted, the hinges on the back rusted out because.
All right. So I just hold it out to Eddie. I got it.
Great.
What's in the fucking box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
Oh, what's in the box?
It is a 1-minute hourglass.
Is this a time turner? I'm going to try to, I don't know, discern realities to try to tell what it does? If it does anything, is it magical?
I would say this is a spout lore one, and I'm going to say you're going to do it at a -2 because all enchanted items are done by enchanters, and you are an illusionist. So they would get a bonus to being able to determine what magic items are, unless you specifically know the magic item, but something like this you've never seen before. To be able to identify what it would do is a spout lore -2.
-2, you said?
Yep.
All right.
Can I aid with this? How does adding bond to aid work?
If you can find a good reason that you would be able to aid, like a logical reason behind it, you would give him a +1 to his roll.
Okay, I wasn't. I don't know if I would know anything about the enchanters. I don't think I've ever been in there.
Yeah, that's a 6.
All right. So you do recognize there is some magic to it. You can feel the magic kind of emanating from it, but you don't know what or how or why.
All right. Well, I can't tell what this does, guys, but it's definitely magical. I say it's worth holding on to.
Well, there are more items down there. That is just the one that stood out to me.
Sounded like you ran into trouble down there, though.
The mer people of the lake didn't appreciate my presence.
Did you find the bead?
Not necessarily.
Well, to the Potters?
On to the next plan.
Yeah. Let's go sneak in the Potters while Bill keeps them busy.
I also saw evidence of one of those wild magic surges at the bottom of the lake.
Wow.
Do we want to make a step off and let Mr. Smelting know?
Yeah, we might want to go and let him know about that on the way to... It's almost dinner time. We got to be over there after dinner.
Yeah. So we'll go have dinner and make a stop at Mr. Smelting's office.
Yeah.
Are you going to bring anything for dinner, or are you just going to show up? I mean, what...
Was it a potluck?
Oh, is it dinner in the cafeteria?
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you were going to go to the Potters for dinner.
No.
I thought you were saying that. Okay, so you're just going to the cafeteria.
Yeah, the cafeteria.
All right, yeah. So you guys go to the cafeteria or go to the dean?
Go to the dean first. And let him know, hey, Mr. Smelting, your Uorag here went for a swim earlier. He said there looks like there's been some wild magic in the bottom of the lake there, too.
What evidence do you have of that?
I saw it.
You saw it?
What did you see?
It?
The area at the bottom of the lake was disturbed unnaturally. I could tell the difference.
Like a portal came through?
Perhaps. Hard to say. Perhaps I could go back and speak with the spirits of the water and discern more information if you need.
No. No students are allowed in the water until one of the counselors look.
No.
If a portal has opened up down there, then there is likely a monster of some sort that has invaded the lake.
Are there supposed to be mer people there?
Yes, they're typically civil and calm, and they stick to their own housing. Why?
They were unhappy with my presence.
Something has probably put them on alarm.
Probably the event.
All right. Well, we're going to head to dinner. But if we see anything else with wild magic, we'll let you know. It's a little concerning.
Very good work today. I'm impressed with all of you.
Thanks.
All right. Fuck off.
Yeah. See you, man.
While we're grabbing dinner, I'm going to grab an extra muffin.
I just walk out of his office squeaking as I'm still wet.
Me and Don are going to be best friends.
This concludes this episode of A Fool's Quest. Join us next time for more fun and daring adventure. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to like, subscribe, review, and comment on your favorite platform to listen to A Fool's Quest.
All right, guys. It is 9 o'clock, so wrap it up here.
Time to wrap it.
Yeah. We're going to we'll come back and start the next session in the cafeteria again.
I'm detecting a theme.
Each session is just one meal period.
Yeah.
First one was breakfast, second one's lunch.